So I think the importance of free time is underrated. I think a lot of us sort of overestimate the power of work and underestimate how important free time is. So I'm going to do some puppy lessons with my dog Babs right now. But I was thinking about how important it is to have a little bit of downtime. So first of all, I was thinking of the importance of hobbies. So you might hear Babs in the background. So you're sort of figuring out the whole traveling in a car thing. But the power of hobbies, right? So the question that you think about with entrepreneurship or innovation is, what do you innovate on? Or what's your entrepreneurial venture going to be? And, two logical things is what you've already are working on, and then you branch out from that. It's not necessarily entirely entrepreneurial, but that there's definitely entrepreneurship that's involved there. And then the other thing is, what do you actually like? Now, how do you know what you actually like? You simply look at what you're doing, and what you're doing is really just the hobbies that you already have. Right, so whether it's working out, whether it's reading, whether it's watching sports on TV, whatever it is, that would be the logical step of where to go. Now, you have to sort of think about what are the combinations of how to make this thing profitable and all that kind of stuff, but that's a different story, right? But what you need to think about is, what is it that you really want to work on, and what is it that you feel excited enough every day that you can do this thing? Well, it's probably going to be your hobby, or the thing that you're actually good at, the thing that you're working at. And it's likely the way that you actually got there is because of the hobby that you're working on anyways. It's not like a weird thing, it's kind of a weird thing to sort of think of you're just going to choose a career with something that you're not interested in, right? So I was always interested in mathematics. So my undergrad was in chemical engineering. Chemistry sounded interesting, and that was more or less it. And I lived in a pulp and paper town, so that was like a natural career path to go into that. But I was more interested in the mathematics and things like that, more than the other components of it. So it's important to think about, what are these particular hobbies? It's not going to be a big leap from what you're actually doing. And I think that everybody should sort of think about, what is it that you want to do? Look at what you're already doing and just make a nice little logical step from what you're doing. So how do you actually start working on hobbies and whatnot? It is having free time where you can pursue different things, right? So I'm building this whole reciprocity project on my free time. Whenever I'm going to and from work, weekends, between sort of chaotic things, and when I have free, just this drives and things like that, or, having a quick email to my developers to build out the platform, all these kind of things, is really just in my free time, because I can't do this. The issue is like, how do you get to something that's actually profitable, that's actually going to work out? And it makes zero sense to make that big leap on something that you don't know whether it's actually going to work. And, I strongly believe the longer you work at something, you're probably going to figure out the way that you're going to make it profitable. So then you have to limp along for a long time to get to the point of when it actually becomes profitable. And by the time you figure that out, so that limping along is, vital information of what you should do. And then, eventually maybe it turns into something, or, maybe it doesn't. Well, you just essentially pursued all of your time doing a hobby, and that is a good thing, right? Like, you just had some enjoyment out of this thing. Was like, okay, what would be your alternative, right? If your alternative is pursuing that hobby and sort of just being dedicated to that hobby, that's a good outcome, ultimately, even if it didn't end into something that was profitable or something that was really fun and exciting from that. But you got to pursue a great deal of time working on something that was essentially gave you a lot of joy. So I encourage you just to think about those hobbies and get back to what it is that you had that gave you some joy, and just see if you can get your way back into that and start, if you like electrical vehicles or you like solar vehicles, just start blogging about it or start talking about it. Just start kind of pondering about these kind of things. And there's going to be opportunities there if you actually look for it. So that's all I want to talk about. Good luck with it all. Enjoy it. It should be pretty fun. And ultimately, you got to remember that. Free time and hobbies, they matter. All right, take care and have a wonderful day.